You've been lied to about why you're not getting rich, and the truth is way more uncomfortable. I'm going to be front-loading the highest signal ideas into the first half of this video. If you're still watching after that, that means that this message is for you, and we'll go deeper. Alright, let's get started. Believing you can't get rich is just a psychological shield to avoid the pain of failing. It's not that you can't, it's that not trying feels safer than trying and losing. And that safety is what's keeping you stuck. You think people that did get rich either had the money or they had the trauma to motivate them. They either had the comfort or the hunger, right? And since your story doesn't match up to theirs because no two stories are the same, you think you just don't have what it takes. That's not true. Yeah, the game is unfair, but if you're gonna let that stop you, you're just being a sore loser. Everybody has different friction to achieving wealth, but friction isn't a wall. You don't argue with gravity, you learn to work with it. Your current belief system is designed to keep you broke. That way you'll never have to face the terror of change. It's not about truth, it's about protection. If you're always disqualified in your head, you'll never have to face the fear of getting into the ring and doing the shit. Rich people aren't just lucky, and yeah, there is some aspect of that, but they built the systems to achieve the things that they now have. They built systems that align with money, systems that reward them while they sleep. Believing that wealth is ethical, possible, and meant for you is more important than developing any skill. If you think that's wrong to get rich, or if it's impossible for someone like you, you'll never allow yourself to get rich. You're gonna self-sabotage every single time. Your identity is either a prison or a launch pad. The beliefs you loop in your head are scripting your future. If you think that you're not that kind of person, you'll never become them. You don't need permission, you need courage and consistency. You don't need someone to tell you that you're ready. You just need to keep showing up until the system compounds. It's never been easier to build wealth. You've got code, you've got community, you've got content, leverage is free, distribution is global, but most people won't even start because they're still waiting for validation. You don't rise to your goals, you fall to your beliefs. So choose better beliefs. You know, I grew up pretty sheltered. That sounds nice, right? Not having many trials and tribulations. Yeah, I mean, it is. But at the time, I didn't think that. At the time, I let that stop me from doing things. Which sounds crazy, but I know a lot of people are like this. I blamed my comfy upbringing for the reason why I wasn't pursuing things in life. Why I wasn't achieving anything. I told myself that because I grew up with enough money, it didn't feel good to go get more of it. So why even try? I believe that I just didn't have the drive that other people had because I didn't have it hard enough as a kid. And you know, maybe there's a little bit of merit to that maybe giving your kid too comfortable of a life is gonna make them so they're gonna want stuff less for multiple reasons. But a lot of that's bullshit. A lot of it's just excuses. Excuses that I'm arguing that everybody has no matter who you are, no matter what your upbringing is. Because I also had some bad parts of my childhood. You know, in high school, I was pretty damn addicted to weed and I was pretty depressed. I struggled to get up and go to school for like half of all of high school. And because I had it hard, I also blamed that for why I wasn't getting shit done. I believe that I had it too hard to try to get wealthy. I look at the people without the mental problems I'd have, and I just be like, shit, man. Like, I wish I didn't have these problems, and if I didn't have these problems, then I'd be achieving this stuff like everybody else has. And like, yeah, obviously being depressed and being addicted to weed is gonna make you do stuff less, but I didn't have the self-autonomy to be able to be like, yeah, I gotta deal with these problems and then I can do what I want. Then I can achieve the things I want to achieve. I was just thinking, these are the problems I have and there's my future. I'm gonna be broke. But the thing is, I also felt a similar way from when I had things too good, when I grew up too happy and too comfy. And that just has me thinking, everybody's probably having these excuses. If you're still watching this, let's test this. Drop one belief about money, success, or yourself that you were taught, but now you question. You don't have to agree with me yet, just name the story that you're holding on to. And if you're truly not convinced, defend it. Everybody probably blames the reason that they're not getting wealthy is because they grew up in a different environment and with different genetics than the people who did get wealthy. And that's true that the people who are currently wealthy do have different genetics and did grow up in a different environment. But that's because everybody grows up with a different environment and genetics than everybody else. So you can always make that case. Doesn't matter that you didn't have it hard, doesn't matter that you didn't have it easy, you can go get this shit. And I'm just trying to convince you that you can go and get what you want. So if you're gonna keep believing in your head that you can't do this for excuse after excuse, that's on you. No matter what advantages you have, you're always gonna look at your weaknesses and then look at the people who've made it who don't have those weaknesses and think that that's the difference. In reality, the difference is just the time you haven't put in, the effort you haven't put in, the resources you haven't put in, the risks you haven't taken. There's a bunch of shit, but all of it is in your hands, not the genetics you have. Okay, maybe if you're very disabled, then you can make a case for why that is different. But 99.99% of y'all are perfectly capable. And it doesn't even have to be that you're just capable enough to get wealthy. If you're broke as hell, it can just be getting out of the hood. You don't even have to be super rich. It doesn't even have to be money related at all. It can just be doing the thing that you want to do. Listen, I know that we all have our own excuses as to why we're not doing exactly what we know we should be doing right now, but I want you to sit and think about that. Is that a valid excuse, or are you just blaming your situation? I bet you could have any situation, and if you're gonna be a bum about it, you could find out why that situation is stopping you from doing the stuff you wanna do. Listen, every problem has a solution. And some of the solutions are pretty damn difficult to get to, but the average problem has a pretty damn easy solution. So solve your problems. I've got a lot more to say about all this, but I'm gonna make those into separate videos. But for the final action plan, I just want you to remember that you're not behind, you're just paused. You just have to hit play, no matter how old you are. Drop the story, drop the excuses, build the system. Become the person who gets rich even if no one believes in you yet, especially if no one believes in you yet. If you're gonna drop any beliefs, comment them all. I wanna hear how it made a difference. And if this video hit, there's more. Stay rising.